In the grand theatre of history, few monarchs command the imagination like Queen Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen, the Gloriana. A woman whose rule ushered in a golden age of literature, empire, and unmatched political savvy. But behind the shimmering portraits and celebrated sonnets lies a chilling truth, a hidden horror masked not by shadow, but by the pale gleam of cosmetics. This is not merely a tale of power or politics, but of decay and desperation. This is the dark story behind her white face. Queen Elizabeth I, the dark story behind her excessive white makeup. Elizabeth Tudor's path to power was born of blood and betrayal. As the daughter of the infamous Henry VIII and his doomed second wife, Anne Boleyn, Elizabeth's life began in scandal. Declared illegitimate before her third birthday and shuffled to the sidelines of succession, she learned early that survival in a Tudor court meant cunning, silence, and patience. When she finally ascended the throne in 1558, following the brief tragic reigns of her half-siblings, Edward VI and Mary I, she was a woman alone in a man's world, a Protestant queen surrounded by Catholic plots, foreign threats, and domestic doubt. Her throne was hard-won, and she would not give it up easily. But just 4 years into her reign, fate struck a brutal blow. In the fall of 1562, Elizabeth was gripped by a terrifying illness, smallpox. It swept through her body with fever, lesions, and the threat of death. As courtiers prepared for the worst, a miracle occurred. She survived. Yet the virus left a mark. The beautiful, youthful queen was now scarred. Pockmarks across her once smooth face, a permanent reminder of her mortality. For a queen whose authority was tightly interwoven with her image, the consequences were devastating. Appearance was everything. Power was as much about perception as policy, especially for a female monarch surrounded by men eager to exploit any sign of weakness. So Elizabeth turned to a solution. A substance as luxurious as it was lethal, she used Venetian ceruse. This coveted cosmetic, a paste made from white lead and vinegar, promised a luminous, flawless complexion, and it worked, at least on the surface. When painted on thickly, it concealed every blemish, every imperfection. Her skin glowed pale and porcelain, a living emblem of purity and control. The scars vanished beneath the mask, but the poison had already begun to sink in. Lead is insidious. It seeps through the skin and slowly infiltrates the body. At first it dulls the senses, then it corrodes them. It attacks the nervous system, causing tremors, fatigue, irritability, and over time, madness. It destroys the gums, blackens the teeth, causes hair to fall out and skin to ulcerate. Elizabeth, unknowingly, was painting her death onto her face each morning. The more damage the ceruse caused, the more she needed it. The more she needed it, the more it devoured her from within. Her once vibrant hair began falling in clumps. She began wearing elaborate wigs, often fiery red, to conceal the loss. Her real hair was likely sparse, her scalp scarred. Her eyebrows, once arched and expressive, vanished entirely. Shaved or fallen out, no one can say. Her teeth, once described as beautiful, decayed, blackened, and fell from her mouth. Her breath, by some accounts, became foul. Yet to the court and her subjects, she remained eternally youthful, painted in purity, cloaked in divinity. But the image required strict control. Elizabeth was not only obsessed with applying her daily mask, she became equally fanatical about how she was portrayed. Painters were forbidden from capturing her likeness as it truly appeared. Instead, she provided approved templates to artists, idealized designs that showed her in permanent bloom, with alabaster skin, a sharp nose, and vibrant eyes. These portraits were not mirrors. They were propaganda. The Queen had created a divine image, and any deviation from it was dangerous. As the years passed, the mask became not only her shield, but her prison. Behind the closed doors of her court, Elizabeth aged. Her body weakened. Her moods grew volatile. Some historians believe her emotional outbursts, paranoia, and memory lapses in her later years were not simply due to the burdens of rule, but to lead poisoning. The very substance that preserved her public face may have been unraveling her mind. Her isolation deepened. Though she entertained countless marriage proposals, from foreign kings to English nobles, she wed no one. Some saw this as a political move, a way to remain sovereign and above faction, but others speculate something more intimate. Perhaps Elizabeth feared that marriage would expose her physical decay, that a husband would see not the Virgin Queen, but a scarred, aging woman behind the mask. To maintain her myth, she had to remain alone. Queen Elizabeth I died in March of 1603, after a 44-year reign that transformed England into a major world power. She died unmarried, childless, and cloaked in secrecy. And when she passed, so too did the illusion she'd spent a lifetime maintaining. Her body was laid to rest in Westminster Abbey, beside her half-sister Mary. In death, as in life, she kept company with ghosts. Today, science confirms what Elizabeth could never have known. Venetian ceruse was a cosmetic marvel, yes, but one laced with lethal consequences. Modern analysis of 16th century formulas shows dangerously high concentrations of lead. Even intermittent use could damage the body. For Elizabeth, who wore it daily for decades, the effects were likely catastrophic. And yet without it, would her rule have endured? And that is the dark story behind her white face. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.